crazy. I'm getting wild. Ah! Ah! All right, we can go.
Hello and welcome to the sixth and last episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series cast here on the No Thumbs Up channel. We're here to walk through the series with you beat by beat and just have a good time. My name is Joel and this is Marcel. He'll be your plotsman for the duration of this series. If you have not seen our last episodes, they're up on the channel. And if you like what we're doing here, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you want to stick around for more stuff just like this. Yeah. So we've been reviewing Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and here we are at the end.
This is it. Well, apparently they're gonna be like working on like a second season. Like apparently Loki and this show are like open for second seasons. So knowing that and then watching the episode again, I have a different outlook on the end of the episode. But this is it. This is the end for now.
I think in some ways it can feel a bit anticlimactic, but when you look at it as a whole and with the episode before it tying up a lot of the knots, I think it is really good.
I thought it kind of just needed to do what it did, and it did it.
Yeah, but I mean, lots of cool stuff.
Lots of cool. We finally got the suit, which like no 4 wings, but I mean
no 6 wings either. But
no. But it's a cool suit. It is a pretty fucking awesome suit.
And I mean, they used it in lots of neat ways. So.
Lots of cool ways, and especially incorporated with a bit of that shield action we saw last week. Like every action beat this like episode needs to hit. Like it's got it. Like it's got like multiple different fight scenes across different we just want to see people fight in different arenas, and it does that pretty well. And then like we kind of said, it ties up the episode pretty good. Or the series, sorry, pretty good. It's a nice little bow at the end, but like. It's kind of like a 2-parter gift, so you know damn well you need like batteries for it or some shit, so you gotta wait until you get batteries.
Like I heard like a lot of people saying that this episode felt like kind of rushed. Like I don't really think so.
I
honestly.
think the entire series just kind of like brought it to this, like this was just supposed to be like a climax. It's kind of hard with a series though. Like WandaVision kind of had the same problem, right? Where like it's really hard to just kind of like have a really big climax, but then also like have enough time after the climax for like the calm down, right?
Yeah, I always find that is the problem with the TV series, and that's why I liked what they did with the 5th episode.
Because we didn't really we got a lot of exactly. Like we got a lot of resolutions last episode, so like now it's just basically the last last hurrah, the last battle, the last kind of. So like this whole battle takes up the majority of the episode, right? Like it takes up a good like chunk of the episode, which is exactly why it's there. It needs to be there,
Yeah. So I think without any further ado, let's just jump into it.
Let's just give her. So like it kind of starts out where like the last episode ended with like the GRC building, and they're like doing the act. It's patch act.
Yeah, right? It's gonna displace a bunch of people. I'm pretty sure, like from where they live, so that the people who used to live there can go back to their homes, right?
Yeah. So basically, it's like if you're like, because a lot of immigrants would there was a lot of immigrants like everywhere essentially because they needed to like fill up housing and stuff.
And you would think that probably after like half the people disappeared, you would probably like concentrate into bigger places, right? Like you would just move into, or maybe you would want to just live in like smaller.
Well, yeah, that's exactly it, right? You join like big.
Yeah, you would just need to find like your community again.
And so, like, they're basically trying to. It's kind of like a really, not I would say tongue-in-cheek, but it's pretty blatant, like, on just immigration policies now and like just what's going on in the States and stuff. So like,
yeah,
and it's kind of one of those things that it's like it's almost like it's relatable to real world. I can't talk today. Real world episode or like.
Yeah, like.
Going on and
it's drawing parallels between what's happening in real life.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they're at the building and it's all fucking red for some reason, which like I like, because all the alarms are going off, and I get that, but I really hated how like most of this fight scene was just red. But anyway,
And it was like, oh yeah, in our government building we have all the RGB lights set up so we can make this place look as spooky as possible. Just
yeah, literally. So like, you know, because like we get so right away, you know, the politicians are just like in this like, you know, group room or whatever, and then some gas comes in, so they're all leaving, and then fucking badass Captain America comes fucking flying in with this awesome ass suit, looks fucking sick.
Yeah,
it's a cool superhero landing, like.
Yeah, like I really like the shoulder pads make him look like real buff. He's got like you can definitely tell he like moves faster because of just like the Wakandan propulsion tech.
Yeah. And I also love the fact that he flies and uses the shield, which I just think is a cool combo all around. But like he like throws the shield, breaks the window, fucking grabs the shield, fucking does a cool superhero landing. They're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "A fucking Captain America." So like, yes, we need that. That's fucking awesome. And then the rest of the fucking fight scene is just like him and Batroc, the like French arms dealer, because he just comes out of fucking nowhere. And
GSP.
He's like, you owe me a lot of money. I wonder how much I can get for that suit. But yeah, like the whole fight scene's just like in red light. Like it like you can't see how cool the suit looks because it's all fucking red. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I almost think, I don't know, because it's like.
They like blatantly show it right off the hop, and then just like go into like red. So if you want to hide it, that's cool. Do that. But like you know, like it was just I don't know. It was just an odd decision. But I guess like fight scenes are cooler when the whole screen's the same color. But anyway, Sam and Batroc are like beating each other up and shit. Meanwhile, like Sharon and Bucky are like basically trying to like go to help.
And Bucky's like, "Hey Sharon, go follow that guy." She's like, "Yeah," and like just doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, like literally. Well, she does. She goes down to like the garage or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But then like not Sam. Sorry, Bucky's like going to find Sam, I guess, and then he just gets a phone call. Like I do understand where they say this is kind of rushed because there's just kind of like a lot of little things that just happen that like you know just cause. But then basically like the phone call is
Carly,
and she's just like, yeah, you know. I'm going to do this. It's another one of those conversations of you don't need to do this, but I want to do this. Well, don't do this because you'll end up a bad guy. Well, I'm already a bad guy. You know, shit like that. And really just like another we've heard it so many times throughout this series. The amount of phone calls they've had just to say the same shit.
Yeah, and it is kind of odd, I think, that she calls Bucky in this instance, too. But, like,
I think it was to distract him.
Yeah.
So then Sam is like still fighting Batroc. I'm pretty sure it's like Batroc or some shit. But like it's you know.
Yeah.
But like Bucky goes and grabs a motorcycle because there's two armed vehicles that have like
all the GRC people in them, and like
so they're taking off, and he just grabs a bike and starts fucking like chasing after him. Actually, there's a really funny line during that part because he goes. Bucky, like, because Sharon tells him that the helicopter is, like, about to take off, and, like, one of the fucking New Order or whatever, the Flag Smashers are in the helicopter, I guess. He's driving it. They're just all over this shit. So then, like, Sharon's like, oh, yeah, like, Sam, you better hurry. And Sam's just kind of, like, doing this awesome fight scene with fucking Batroc. But then, like, he's like, oh, Bucky, can you take care of this? Bucky's just on a motorcycle, and he just goes, nah, yeah, flying's your thing. And then just, like, starts going after the vans.
Yeah, meanwhile, in, like, the parking lot at this point, like, Carter just, like, goes and just, like, oh, sorry, on that one dude, like, slips, like, a little chemical thing. And then he just gets, like
murdered.
Yeah, like chemical warfare.
Yeah, he's just like you know, he's one of the Flag Smashers, I guess. His name is Lennox. If that was, you know,
pertinent at all.
Yeah, you know, but yeah, it literally kills him with like mercury poisoning, and like we see the guy's face, and it's like melted
just
off.
Boiling,
like,
yeah.
Couldn't it just, you know, like put him in a chokehold? Maybe just like, you know, maybe you got your own fight scene, maybe to like prove that you're actually worth something.
She didn't even need to fight him. It was easier than that.
I guess, yeah, just fucking like brutally murder him. What if he had a family? They have to have a closed casting funeral now. Like,
true.
Anyway, and then basically, the helicopter is being hijacked by Diego because again, importance. So then Sam does this really cool thing with his shield, and just like fucking steps on it and like bashes Patrug in the face with it, and then grabs it, throws it, breaks the window. The shield's like flying out, bursts out,
Yeah.
says au revoir, and fucking hops out and grabs his shield out of the air and just flies with it. Like, it was so sick. Like,
I like how right before this, when he like throws the shield at Batroc, he just like throws a chair at the shield and it just like falls to the ground. It's like, huh? It's like,
literally, just block it. I guess like it made it was. Yeah, I don't know how that worked though, because like wouldn't it like?
It's like normally you just see the shield just like plant into trees and stuff, and he's just like, nah, chair. It's
Those chairs are actually made out of vibranium.
Wakanda chairs.
GRC actually, they're pretty bougie. They got them custom made. But yeah, so then as Sam's like chasing after the helicopter, Diego like hits the police helicopter, I believe it is. Yeah. So he like whacks into a police helicopter, and the helicopter starts like spinning out. Fucking Sam does this cool ass shit where he just grabs both the people and like lands on this bridge, and then fucking uses his wings and the shield to like protect and like literally just bounce off the helicopter, and then like it breaks and everybody's just like woo, like all the people are like clapping and shit. Even though I'd be a little more like, what the fuck just happened? Like,
I like how he just like doesn't stick around, just immediately back up.
Yeah, he's like I got shit to do. So that was really cool. I actually really like just that fucking. They really incorporate not only his wingsuit but the shield in this with a lot of his fight scenes, and like it's just. Anybody who like during the whole MCU, anybody who gets like the other person's weapon, everybody loses their shit.
Yeah,
like
it's
nothing
like
will ever top fucking Captain America with Thor's hammer and the shield. That was like that was awesome.
It's like I don't know if they did it at this point yet, but like the one time Sam, when he's like got the shield on the person, then he activates his jets on his back and he's like, and like,
he did that with I think. No, I don't know if he did that yet, but I love that. I love that. I fucking, it's so sick. And like again, there's like a fight scene later with him and Carly, and when he's like, like that whole thing. I'll kind of talk about it a bit more, but when he just like uses the wings as like support to like take a hit, I'm like, fuck, that is sick. He like stabs his wings into the ground.
Oh yeah, and then like blocks with the shield.
Like that's fucking awesome. Like it's all around just cool. Like, So then Carly and the Flag Smashers try to. It says bum. I accidentally spelled bum instead of burn. So it's like they try to bum. They burn the convoy with because they stop and they like basically like they need to distract Sam Bucky, because Bucky comes around on the motorcycle, sees that they're like at this like blockade, and just fucking like. Goes turbo speed, hits the brakes, and goes flying into them. So that's just, I guess, like just propelling himself. He's a super soldier. He knows he can take it, and then he starts fighting a couple of the Flag Smashers. So then Carly's like, "Oh, we need to distract him. Fuck it, let's burn this vehicle with all the people inside." So they put gasoline on it and light it, and then
this is when Walker shows up.
Yeah, all you hear is Morgenthau.
Yeah,
like a fucking wrestler coming out of the ring, like you're going down, like just like
you're going down, Morgenthau. Comes out with his cardboard shield.
Yeah, his fucking like garage made shield, and then she's just like, "Listen, I didn't mean to kill your friend. He means nothing to my fight." And then, like, he's, John...
Hey, I don't want to kill people who don't matter.
Yeah. What, Lamar's death didn't matter? Not to my fight? Like...
Yeah.
So then, they start having a really, really cool fight scene.
At one point, like, all of the Flag Smashers are just, like, walkers on the ground. They're all just, like, stomping on them.
Yeah, they just start beating the shit out of him, and then you see him with, like... his fucking, like, he, like, looks at one of his medals of honor and then just gets that, like, super boost of, like, I'm gonna kick everybody's ass. Mm-hmm. But then Bucky manages to save all the people in the burning convoy because he went to go take care of that while, like, John Walker gets his fucking teeth kicked in by the Flag Smashers. And then Carly takes the other one, and then she kind of, like, goes to fuck off with it. But like,
this one's kind of.
Yeah, there's like so much that happens in this.
Bucky Fall gets kind of pushed off, and some dude with like a girder follows him.
It starts. They have their own kind of like little fight scene.
Yeah, Walker goes off with Carly, and then we see Sam like back at the helicopter.
Yeah, because he's still doing the helicopter thing. So then like. Sorry, I kind of lost my place.
No, it's fine. I have the actual episode here, so when we get to like multiple planes of action, I can go through it a bit better.
It's so hard to get all of that down because I'm like sitting there this morning. I'm like, oh Jesus, there is way too much going on in this episode. So like I can understand the complaints, but yeah. So then Sam like basically gets Red Wing to his cool ass new jet Red Wings. He has 2 of them, which is even cooler. What's cooler than 1 Red Wing? 2 Red Wings. Fuck yeah.
And they look like jets now.
Yeah, they do. They look like fucking like stealth jets, like those fucking like triangle, like awesome. Oh, they're so sick. And so they like scan the helicopter, and he finds out one of the people in it like has flight training, so he hacks into her Bluetooth, and then gets her to count down from 5.
I know he like hacks into her phone, texts her to put in her Bluetooth, and then does that.
And then basically like. She starts counting down from 5, and then at 5, Red Wing like blows off the door. Sam fucking flies in, grabs the dude with it, like bashes him with his shield, and she like.
Or isn't this when Sam like takes his thing and just like throws it like overhead? It's like.
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah. He throws it overhead, breaks the door off, and then like grabs like just flies in. Oh, it was sick.
Yeah.
And then she grabs the plane, fucks off, and then I don't know if we ever actually see that plane land or anything.
And
but we see her later. So,
but that's such a cool thing that like we haven't seen anybody but like Sam do, to just be like, oh, like she's equipped to handle this.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it was nice to like kind of just be like, yeah, you know how to fly, you're in control of this. Like, don't fuck it up or you're gonna kill everybody. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, and then so meanwhile, Bucky or Bucky's fighting that one guy, and then
Walker's taking on some Flag Smashers and eventually goes to chase Carly.
Rage and like beats him up or whatever, and then goes after Carly. And then they have a really cool fight scene. Actually, I really like the music during this. So it's almost kind of like intimidating. Like it's almost like malicious, I guess. But like it's a really just cool fight scene. Like like she like hops. It's just under these like she just hops around these like fucking construction like posts, like when they're working on sidewalks and shit, and just like being a badass.
And then she kicks him in the face, goes and steals one of the GRC vehicles. And
tries to run it over the edge, and then she like hops out and then drives it to like the edge, doesn't she, or some shit?
Yeah.
So just toss it into the construction site.
Yeah, and it's going to like down where Bucky is.
Yeah. And then, you see Bucky kind of look up, and like it almost looks like he's just gonna be like, "All right, like, I got it."
It's like, no, you don't got it. You don't got it.
No, you can't catch that shit. And then we just kind of see it like a busted ass shield, like that like piece of shit doo-doo shield, fucking like fall down beside Bucky, and then you just see John Walker like holding the fucking like truck, which it was cool because this is gonna be his win. Yeah. And then doesn't he get like knocked? He gets like knocked out or some shit. Like
just like a bunch of Flag Smashers come up from behind him and just pull him off, and he just falls, hits his back, and then hits the ground.
Yeah, like he gets treated like every time he almost gets a win in this episode, he gets like punked out like a bitch. Like, but then Sam fucking comes in and with his 2 Red Wings and himself, and he fucking pushes it up like, yeah, no problem, Captain America, motherfucker. And, like saves everybody. And then, fucking.
That's the Black Falcon there. Nah, no, that's Captain America.
That's awesome. I really like that. Actually, I'm gonna be real. That was just really funny. But then like they're both Sam and because fucking John Walker gets knocked like into the pit beside Bucky, and then Bucky fucking and like Walker standing there, and then Sam just comes, throws his fucking shield down because there's a bunch of like Flag Smashers. Literally just see the beautiful good shield, the nice shields fucking like knock everybody out. Yeah, just like literally they're like fighting.
Strike.
They literally, like, these two guys are, like, getting their asses whooped by all these guys. Sam takes them out, all three at once. Like, whatever, I think there was 4 of them. Literally no, it was 3. It was the 3 of them, and then Carly. Literally just, like, fucking donks them all out at once, like it was nothing. So, like... But then, Batroc shows up, starts shooting some fucking gas bombs in there, and, they escape, and then,
they all run after Carly.
You see Batroc go down and like kind of like go in the same area, and then we see Sharon see Batroc go down in that area, so she follows, and then we see fucking Sam, like Captain America, just got like fucking heat vision goggles, so he fucking just follows them. So they all go into like this like I guess sewage construction warehouse thing. Like,
abandoned warehouse number 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I like that Walker, he's just like, I'm gonna go this way, and then Bucky kind of looks at him, he's like, I got him. How can babysit?
Like, Sam's got like that, like, he could just see like footprints, like he's got tracker on, you know?
Yeah.
So then, so this path split off, so then, Captain America goes one way, and then Sam, like you said, just like follows John. And then
but the person to find Carly is
we see Carly following a whistling sound and going, Diego, is that you? Like giving away her position like a dumbass. And then like Sharon walks out with a gun, and we're like, oh, Sharon got there first. Jokes. Sharon's actually the power broker.
what?
That is so fucking dumb. But, like, hey, I guess, you know, sure, why not? Fuck it. Yeah, that sucked. But yeah, so then they start talking, and then Batroc shows up, and he's like, I'm tired of these games, Carly's like, oh, what, you literally, like, paid this guy to, like, spy on me? And she's like, yeah, I did. And then Batroc just looks at Sharon, and she's like, all right, I want 4 times what you're gonna give me, Tabarnak. Give me 4 times the pay, or I'm saying no way to your secret, and everybody gonna know you're that power broker. You know, he's like, he just
that's good.
So then she just shoots him.
She's like, I don't like blackmail. Bang, bang.
Yeah, like literally, like Sharon kills Batroc, and then fucking Carly just shoots Sharon. And I'm like, wow, that was a great little circle of pointlessness. I'm glad this all came to a pointless conclusion. And then Sam shows up because Carly's about to like shoot Sharon in the face, and he's like, "Don't do this. You know, you don't need to do this. Like, chill."
He starts fighting her, where he's just like backing up and dodging, doing flips.
Yeah, like literally, because he does that thing where he fucking like just like, you know, flies and like kind of grabs her off of like Sharon so she doesn't shoot her. And then she starts like beating up the shield, and he's like, I'm not gonna fight you. And then like you said, he's just doing backflips and fucking like he does that cool thing with the shield, and he has his shield and he blocks a hit, but he like digs his like wings in the ground,
yeah.
Takes it.
Oh, and one part we missed that was quite a while back, but it just came to mind. When Carly's with like all the Flag Smashers, like before any of this happens, and she's all just like, well, we might die tonight, but at least like our message will get out there. And she's like, one world, and everybody's like, one people. Wait, yeah.
You're cool with dying?
Yeah.
Listen, I just wanted to, you know, be an activist. I needed this for the credits. This is just my social work right now.
This was supposed to be fun.
Yeah. We haven't had a charcuterie board at our meetings in years. What the fuck is this, Carly? But yeah, so then they kind of have a fight scene, and then Carly has the gun, and Sam's like, you know, doing this like, you don't have to do this, and then Sharon just shoots Carly a shitload of times, and then
she just gets her like in the stomach.
She gets her like 3 times, I think. She shoots her like to kill, and he's just like holding her, and she's just like dying. She just goes, "I'm sorry," and then she did. So that's the end of Carly Morgenthau.
The rest of the Flag Smashers that
run
away get caught by Bucky and Walker, and I like Walker's like mercy bears richer fruit than strict justice, and then Bucky, great app, he just catches them using the app, and then they're like walking away, and he's like, Lincoln, you're gonna quote Lincoln, really? And he's like, great quote, great man, and he's like, not when you say it.
Yeah, so literally they don't even get like a really big anticlimactic. They kind of get punked, I'm gonna be real, because what happens next, they get like fucking punked. But yeah, so then after all that, where the hell am I? I kind of just been going off memory. I haven't even been reading my notes.
So...
Okay, yeah. So Sam like goes to catch up to, I guess, like all the GRC people, and he's like comes down looking like the Angel of Mercy with like Carly in his arms, like wings spread out, looking like a badass.
Oh, when you were talking about shoot to kill, you were talking about Sharon shooting Carly before.
Yeah. Yeah, and bang, 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 fucking shooting all the major organs.
Keep going.
We will not.
He will. So yeah, then Sam kind of like confronts the senator. Yeah, the senator, and you know he's like, there's kind of like a really. This is actually my thumbs up moment. This is a really just like good scene. You know, he kind of basically like, you know, starts off with like, yeah, you're still going ahead with this act, and they're like, yeah, well, these terrorists only sent us a bit back, and Sam's like, well, they're not, like, stop using that word terrorist, or the therapist. Don't use the word therapist, it scares me. Don't use the word terrorist, you know, thug, stuff like this, like, it doesn't help the situation. And then they're like, well, you know, like, you don't know how easy it is, or it's so hard, and like, basically Sam goes like, yeah, it is difficult, but that's what's like a good thing about it.
Yeah, it gives us all common ground.
It gives us all common ground. 5 years ago we were fighting for this thing, so like, you know, like everybody came together, and like now you know what it's like to be powerless, and like, you know, so like now you have the decision to make that power. And just a really all around great speech.
And I like the whole thing about just like, you know, all these people are dying because they think it's like, or like because they believe in this cause. Like, why do you think that is? Like,
yeah, and
I really like
it's
that.
such a just like, it's there's so much commentary to it that it's beautiful. Like, it, no matter what you're like side, like it was just really good, and it just made my heart happy, because he, like, you know, he's a soldier, he's a veteran, and he's also like you know, like a soldier rehabilitator or whatever. Like, he like, so like, it's just, you know, he has that heart to be Captain America. And he also makes a really good speech about you know, how he's like, yeah, you know, not everybody's gonna like me, or like the senator's like, you wouldn't understand, and he's like, I understand, I'm a black man wearing the stars and stripes, you know, like, and it kind of goes into like this little bit of like a little, I don't know how to explain it, kind of like a fuck you, you're all judging me, aren't you? Like, you know, but it's understandable. I kind of gave it a pass. But yeah, he's like, I can feel everybody staring at me now, you know? But like,
he's like, a lot of people really don't want me to be wearing these stars and stripes because they kind of represent all the things that happen wrong to black people in America.
And he's like, yeah, he says this really great line. He's like, I don't got superpower, like, I'm not a superhuman. I don't got blonde hair, blue eyes. You know, it's just like really just, it's good. It's good shit.
I like when he's done, he goes over to Bucky and he's like, I wasn't listening. All I heard was a black guy in stars and stripes.
And then Bucky gives him a good old pat on the shield and says, nice job, Cap. And then this army guy, or this like secret agent guy, comes over, and he's just like, hey, we found the last flag smasher that you threw out of the thing by the bay, but he's not down yet. And he's like, say no more. And then
and before this, like, Carter's there, and she's like, sorry about what happened down there, but the suit looks good on you. It's like, hey, that's a deflecting.
Yeah, literally. Fuck, I hate her. So yeah, and then we see the 3 flag smashers that were like caught by like the government being put into like a vehicle, which like a fuckload of time it took them to put him in a vehicle. But hey,
Mhm.
you know, I digress. So in the vehicle, and then we see like the thing, or like we see the guard go like one world, one people. So it's like, oh no, they're gonna escape, and then they blow the fuck up. Like
Yeah.
it blows up, and then we see like Zemo's butler hanging out, like watching through binoculars, and then we cut to like Zemo in prison. And he's just like, he hears on the radio that they're dead, and he just kind of like gets up and is laying
But like, I mean, it shows you right there that he was right, right?
Yeah.
Because like the dude's like one world, one people, so you're like, oh, they're gonna get out, and then Zemo's like, well, I cut that off.
Yeah. So I really like. I just love Zemo, and it was good to see him one last time before the next season. I hope he's back. But yeah, so then we see like Walker get hired by Valentina as we get the U.S. agent suit, which is pretty awesome.
Red and black.
Yeah, red
Kind
and
of
black.
evil looking, but hey.
But that's because like she basically says like, you know, if it'll get weird, but we'll need someone to do it. And I thought of this thing because like there's a Hawkeye TV show slash like I don't know if it's TV like a series slash like movie. I think it's a series that's in the works. And if you think about it, we also have White Vision to play around with. So I'm just
Oh yeah, damn yeah. We have all these like just loose ends too.
So I'm just thinking U.S. Agent, White Vision, and Hawkeye end up doing a little team up, getting a little frisky.
That would be weird.
That would be fucking awesome. So you know that's all cool and shit. I'm okay with that.
But like, I feel like the power differential between Vision and Hawkeye is
but
like.
he's White Vision, right? Because he doesn't have the emotional understanding. He's just like basically like Vision without emotion.
No, doesn't he have the emotion? I think
He
that's.
doesn't have that's the Wanda Vision.
No, but I think that's kind of what happened at the end of WandaVision.
Well, because
that...
he got out logicked basically, and then like he didn't get any like emotion or anything back. White Vision's essentially that's why like in the comics when Vision and Wanda broke up, or like afterwards after the events of like what happened in WandaVision was because of the fact that Vision wasn't Vision anymore because he doesn't have the Mind Stones, so he lost like what actually made him like Vision, like that like thinkative part of him and like or like that human part of him essentially the soul part of him
the mind.
so,
yeah,
this is basically like an AI basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he understands emotion but he can't feel it. He's like a psychopath.
Okay.
But yeah, so then
Bucky goes to visit
Yori. So we get the really really hard scene of Bucky telling Yori that he killed his son.
He's murdered by the Winter Soldier.
Who is me, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I didn't mean it. Brainwashed. I wonder if he actually like went into it or just left after that.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Like you gotta imagine that like even though that guy speaks English, it's like there might be a language barrier, plus he's like kind of older, he might not understand the whole brainwashing thing. It's like how much did he really tell him?
Yeah. And then so then we get Sam showing up at Isaiah's house. And,
two little quick things here. Bucky's thank you note to his therapist night.
Oh yeah,
nice
sorry.
tie up. And then Bucky walking by that restaurant and then seeing the girl that he may or may not go and talk to again. I like to think he did.
I'd like to think he's like, you know what, man, I deserve some action. It's been over, man. But yeah, the thank you note to the therapist. Yeah, he gives him like his book with all the names crossed off, and you know he goes, "Here's your book back, thank you." So that was just a nice tie. Yeah, like you said, nice tie. But yeah, so sorry. So then Sam's at Isaiah's place, and you know when he opens the door, he's like, "Oh, there's Black Captain America." He's like, "Wait, where's your manners?" Like, you know, gives the nephew some shit, and then they start talking out back, and Sam goes, you know, like, "Do you ever lighten up? I want to show you something." And then he takes him, and Sam got a what is it? An exhibit dedicated to Isaiah during like the Second World War and all of his like all the stuff that he did for like saving his troops and like everything. It's because like he's technically dead, so he got him like a memorial, and then Isaiah gives him a nice old hug, and it's all beautiful and teary-eyed. whatnot.
Yeah, it gets a statue, the plaque, and yeah, it's really
And
nice.
then at the end we get a nice little Sam and Bucky having some fun,
Bing, 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 bing.
vibing out, doing their thing, and then we
Bucky
get a
just
title
looking
card.
hot.
He is looking hot with all these kids, like being like all like.
I can't get the cake. There's one part where he's just holding the kid up with his...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He's got like 2 kids on his arm, and he just don't give a fuck. And then we get a really nice title card that reads Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And then we get a mid-credit scene where Sharon gets a pardon and is offered her job back, and as she's leaving, she like calls like some people, and she's like, "We may not have super soldiers, but I got government shit."
I get like she's the power broker. That's what she does. She dishes out stuff, but
fuck you, Sharon. You were supposed to be a good character.
I don't know. It's like it feels like
this transition from her to being bad.
Yeah.
So it just kind of seems very like out of nowhere, I guess.
I think what it feels like for me is like it seemed like the power broker was gonna be almost like
Badass.
a villain was gonna be a villain in this one, but it seems more like she's gonna be a villain in another one.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
So it feels like we got the reveal, but then we still don't really know who she is. So it's kind of like, eh.
I don't know. I'm excited for a second season, just to see what else they do with it. Even just like to see more John Walker as U.S. agent or like shit like that.
Yeah, either than Carter, you could show me like more of any of these characters, and I'd be totally into it.
I'd be okay with it. Fuck it.
Zemo show.
Yeah. Oh fuck. But yeah, so then that was essentially the episode. I thought it was a nice tie up to the first season. I think like the biggest problem with a lot of these shows is that it's almost like they can't help, like the fans can't help it, but they get hyped up too much. Like we hype ourselves up to the point where no matter how you end it, you're gonna be disappointed. So I mean, so let's just take a look back now that we're done all of it, like at the whole series, and I think like you said, now that we can watch this whole series front to back, like I think it's really just going to deliver, because I remember from like every episode there's been things that we're just gushing about. There's always been good action scenes, there's always been pertinent dialogue and themes, and there's always been just like, I don't know, like we were always interested to see what happened next along the way. And honestly, even going back, and I've because we've seen every episode 2 to 3 times. I've seen every episode 2 to 3 times now, and I can watch the episode again fresh, and I don't feel bored. I find it still it delivers on the action. There's at least one cool action scene or something to talk about per episode. And like you said, the story flows for what it needs to do. And
I always feel like there's so much thought put into the structure of the episode, because even the 5th episode where they're tying up a lot of stuff and it's not a lot of action, it's a lot of them just talking. They start off the episode with the Walker fight scene. They give you that to be interested in. They show you the title card, and then there's a lot of stuff you still care about. The next episode, they get right into it. It's I just feel their
pacing's been really good. Like I said with the 3rd episode, I think it was, and how it kind of felt really rushed. There's gonna be episodes like that because sometimes there's not a lot of important information you kind of have to deliver on. So it's even this one's it's a resolution, but it's also kind of a cool most of the action scenes were fucking awesome, and they were kind of I thought this episode was well paced for what it needed to do. Right, it's not the end of the series, it's the end of the season, so it doesn't need to be this massive grand finale, but we got a grand finale for what was set up. It's not the end of the series, so I think with the fact that they I hope they do a second season. If not, then this whole argument is completely invalid, and I'll basically just hate the series. No, I love it. I thought it was good. I'm excited to see Loki now.
We gotta wait until June.
I know. I know. I'm excited for the new Spider-Man movie. I'm also excited because I was doing some nerd research this morning and stuff. But so Tony Stark and like Stark Industries like kind of gonna be a little AFK with Tony Stark being dead and stuff. So hear me out. They're introducing Norman Osborn in the MCU. So I'm thinking, there might be a new evil,
multi-billionaire person.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for what they're doing with Phase 4, and I just hope there's more Spider-Man stuff now that they have the rights. So that's kind of always been my thing. I'm always just like, add more Spider-Man. He's just there for everything. Like, honestly, if there wasn't an MCU movie, like if he was in this, like let's be real, that would have been even funnier to see like Tom Holland with like Bucky, like
yeah.
Just how many awkward, right? So like, yeah.
But yeah, this has been our series cast for Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier. We're probably, I'm gonna guess, gonna try and do this for future series because I think we had fun this time. Who knows who's gonna be on it next time? But thanks for coming along with us for the ride.
Yeah. And don't forget to leave us some comments. Tell us how shit we are.
Share this with your friends. Share this with your enemies.
Share this with like your dog. If you just like leave it on when you go to do shit for your animals will love it. I tell you.
Yeah. Some of our longest view times come from animals.
Yeah, that's actually our biggest audience. But yeah, and then give us a thumbs up or subscribe and all that YouTube trash that people tell you to do. And
deuces.
Fuck off.
No!